Breaking news now. A significant breakthrough on the Dnipro River has reportedly pushed Putin's forces back miles, according to Kyiv. On the banks of the strategically important Dnipro River, Ukrainian forces claim to have driven Russian forces 3 to 8 kilometers back. If verified, it would mark the initial significant development by the forces loyal to Kyiv, after months of a relatively sluggish counteroffensive. During an interview with Ukrainian television, Army spokeswoman Natalia Gumenyuk stated, "Preliminary figures vary from 3 to 8 kilometers, depending on the specifics, geography and landscape design of the left bank." However, she did not elaborate on whether the area was entirely under Ukrainian control or if the Russians had withdrew. Following Russia's withdrawal from the western bank in November, Ukrainian and Russian forces have been entrenched on opposing sides of the expansive river in the southern Kherson region for over a year. After several failed attempts, Ukrainian forces finally reported a successful breakthrough last week, marking their official entry into territory controlled by Russia. Over the weekend, the Ukrainian military reportedly repelled 12 attacks after securing multiple footholds on the eastern bank. According to Kyiv, Mr. Putin has lost approximately 1 brigade's worth of forces there in just 1 month. In a statement, the Kremlin expressed its profound disappointment with Finland's decision to close border crossings between the two nations on Saturday. After accusing Moscow of sending migrants to the border as a form of revenge for Helsinki's accession to NATO and increased Western military cooperation following the invasion of Ukraine, Finland shut 4 crossings on Saturday in an effort to stop the flow of asylum seekers. Dmitry Peskov, spokesman for the Kremlin, refuted Finland's accusation and emphasized that Russian border guards were acting lawfully on Monday. When questioned about the 4 crossings being closed, Mr. Peskov expressed his regret to reporters, saying, "This causes nothing but deep regret because we had long-standing, very good relations with Finland, pragmatic, based on mutual respect." The leaders of this country began to espouse an exclusively Russophobic position, and it is regrettable that these relations were replaced by it, he added. The wives of Russian soldiers have staged protests in Moscow, indicating that their extended deployments to the front line are becoming more and more seen as untenable, according to Britain's Ministry of Defence. Since the invasion of Ukraine in February of last year, Russian mothers and wives have been making daily online appeals protesting the conditions of their loved ones' service. Unlike the Afghan-Soviet War of the 1980s, Russia's draconian legislation has so far prevented troops' relatives from coalescing into an influential lobbying force, the ministry stated. However, on November 7, they staged an unusual street demonstration in Teatralnya Square in Moscow's downtown, waving banners that demanded their allies be removed from the front lines. However, the protesters' immediate demand is notable, the ministry adding that the police had dispersed the demonstration within minutes. A growing number of troops and their families view the seemingly endless combat deployments of personnel without rotation as untenable. Unannounced today, U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin visited Kyiv in an effort to maintain a steady supply of weapons and funding to Ukraine. Mr. Austin is expected to meet with high-ranking Ukrainian officials. He traveled there by train from Poland. This is his second visit to Kyiv. The first was in April of 2022, immediately following Russia's invasion.